Welcome to the channel. If you're over 60, you might be experiencing changes in your body that are harder to explain, and it can feel confusing or even alarming. While physical health is always a top priority as we age, there's one thing we often overlook: the impact of mental health. Did you know that depression can manifest in ways that don't just affect your mind, but your body as well? In today's video, we're going to explore 10 body symptoms that might be warning signs that you're on the verge of depression after 60. It's not always obvious, but your body could be trying to tell you something important. If you've noticed changes like unexplained fatigue, chronic pain, or shifts in your appetite, stick around because these could be the subtle signals your mind is sending to you. Before we dive in, I'd love to know where you're watching from and your age. Drop a comment below and let's start a conversation. And if this topic resonates with you, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and give us a thumbs up. It helps me continue creating valuable content for you. Now let's get started and uncover these hidden symptoms that you won't want to ignore. 1. Physical fatigue and exhaustion. One of the most common, yet often overlooked signs of depression in older adults is physical fatigue. As we age, feeling tired after a long day seems almost normal, right? But what if you're waking up tired despite getting a full night's sleep? Or what if you feel like you can't shake off that heavy exhaustion, even after resting? This is more than just typical fatigue. It could be your body signaling that something deeper is at play. When we think of depression, we often imagine sadness, hopelessness, or a loss of interest in life. But for many over 60, depression doesn't always appear as sadness. Instead, it can show up as a persistent, overwhelming exhaustion that no amount of sleep seems to fix. The emotional toll of depression can drain you mentally and physically, leaving you feeling completely wiped out, even after seemingly doing nothing all day. This type of fatigue isn't just about physical tiredness, it's emotional exhaustion. When the mind is carrying a heavy load of stress, sadness, or anxiety, the body often reflects it by feeling drained, weak, or lifeless. The simplest tasks may feel overwhelming, like even brushing your teeth or getting out of bed requires more energy than you can summon. If you find yourself feeling consistently fatigued, even though you're getting enough rest, it might be time to look deeper into your mental and emotional health. This chronic tiredness could be a sign of depression that's often overlooked or dismissed. Remember, it's not about just pushing through. Take the time to listen to your body and reach out for support if needed. Depression is real, and it can affect you in ways you might not expect. 2. Chronic pain or muscle tension. Chronic pain or muscle tension is something many people experience as they get older. However, if you're constantly dealing with aches that don't seem to have a clear physical cause, it might be a sign of something deeper, like depression. As we age, it's easy to assume that joint pain or tight muscles are just a normal part of getting older. But when the pain feels unexplainable, persistent, or unusually intense, it's important to consider that it could be linked to mental health struggles. Depression in older adults often manifests through physical symptoms, and muscle tension or pain is one of the most common. The body responds to emotional stress, anxiety, and sadness by tightening up, especially in the neck, back, shoulders, and jaw. This tension builds up over time and can feel like a constant weight, even when you haven't been overly active. In fact, many people don't realize that emotional pain can be just as real as physical pain. The strain from stress and depression can cause muscles to contract and stay tight, leading to headaches, back pain, or even discomfort in your limbs. The more you try to power through it, the more it worsens. If you notice that your body feels unusually tense, or that pain seems to linger longer than it should, it could be a subtle sign that your mind is struggling with something deeper. So, if you're experiencing ongoing pain that doesn't have a clear medical cause, don't ignore it. It's important to talk to your doctor about both your physical and emotional health. Depression is often overlooked because its symptoms can be mistaken for physical conditions, but understanding the connection between the mind and body can help you seek the right support. 3. Sleep disturbances. Sleep disturbances are another red flag that can point to depression, especially in older adults. If you're over 60 and have been struggling with your sleep, it could be more than just age catching up with you. Depression often shows itself in the form of disrupted sleep patterns, and these disturbances can be a major clue that your mental health needs attention. Many people think of depression as primarily an emotional experience, but the truth is, it can profoundly impact your sleep. Some may find themselves lying awake for hours, unable to fall asleep, while others might wake up far too early in the morning, unable to get back to sleep. The feeling of restlessness, tossing and turning throughout the night, is a hallmark sign that something deeper might be happening emotionally. The connection between depression and sleep is complex. When you're depressed, your body's production of melatonin, the hormone that regulates your sleep-wake cycle, can be disrupted. This leads to difficulties both falling asleep and staying asleep. On the flip side, some people with depression may experience the opposite. They sleep excessively, yet still feel tired, as though their sleep was unrefreshing. This can create a vicious cycle, where poor sleep only worsens feelings of fatigue and irritability, further deepening the depression. If you're waking up feeling unrested or find that your sleep is erratic, it's essential to consider the possibility that depression is at the root of it. Not getting enough restorative sleep can affect your mood, memory, and even physical health. It's easy to brush off sleep problems as just part of aging, but sleep is critical for mental and emotional well-being at any age. It's important to recognize when your sleep disturbances may be signaling an underlying issue, such as depression, and to seek help if necessary. By addressing your sleep struggles, you may also start to address the mental health challenges that are contributing to them. If sleep disturbances have become a regular part of your life, it might be time to reach out to a healthcare provider who can help you understand what's really going on and offer guidance on how to restore balance to your sleep and mental health. 4. Changes in appetite or weight. Changes in appetite or weight are common physical signs that something may be off, and they can often be tied to depression, especially in individuals over 60. As we age, it's not uncommon to experience some changes in how much or what we eat. But when those changes are sudden or extreme, it can be a red flag for depression, which often affects appetite in ways that might not be immediately obvious. For some, depression manifests as a complete loss of appetite. Food just doesn't seem appealing anymore. Even meals you used to enjoy can suddenly feel like a chore. This lack of interest in eating may not be due to physical illness or a specific health condition. It could be your emotional state affecting your desire to nourish your body. The sadness, apathy, or hopelessness that accompanies depression can make food feel insignificant, leading to unintentional weight loss. On the flip side, depression can also lead to overeating. This is especially common if someone uses food as a way to cope with emotions like sadness, loneliness, or stress. For older adults, the emotional strain of isolation, retirement, or health concerns can make food feel comforting, leading to overeating or binge eating. This emotional eating can often result in weight gain, and the feelings of guilt or shame that follow may worsen depression, creating a dangerous cycle. These changes in appetite and weight can also have more serious health consequences. Unexplained weight loss can weaken the body, leaving you more vulnerable to illness and making it harder to fight off infections. On the other hand, significant weight gain can increase the risk of conditions like heart disease, diabetes, or joint problems, which may already be concerns for older adults. If you're noticing sudden changes in your appetite, whether you're eating much less or much more than usual, it's important to pay attention. These shifts in eating habits could be your body's way of signaling that something emotional, like depression, is affecting you. Depression doesn't always present itself with sadness or tears. Sometimes it shows up in how we treat ourselves physically, even in how we nourish our bodies. If you've been dealing with a sudden or dramatic change in appetite or weight, don't ignore it. Reach out to a healthcare professional who can help you uncover what's going on and provide guidance on how to break the cycle, regain control over your health, and address the emotional distress that's contributing to these changes. 5. Digestive issues. Digestive issues are often one of the most overlooked symptoms of depression, particularly in older adults. Many people don't associate their stomach problems with mental health struggles, But the truth is, your gut can be one of the first places to feel the emotional strain of depression. The mind and the digestive system are closely connected, and when you're feeling mentally overwhelmed, your digestive system may react in a variety of ways. One common issue that many experience is chronic nausea or a general feeling of queasiness. If you find yourself feeling nauseous for no clear reason, it may not be because of something you ate or a stomach bug. The stress and anxiety that often accompany depression can trigger this feeling, making it difficult to even think about food, let alone enjoy a meal. In addition to nausea, constipation or irregular bowel movements can also be linked to depression. Stress, sadness, or anxiety can alter your body's natural rhythm and disrupt normal digestive processes. Depression can slow down the digestive system, causing discomfort, bloating, and constipation. On the flip side, some people may experience the opposite, diarrhea, when their emotional state is particularly high-strung, triggering the body's fight-or-flight response. These digestive issues might seem minor or temporary, but when they persist, they can have a significant impact on your quality of life. Constant discomfort in the stomach or digestive system can lead to a loss of appetite, dehydration, and overall physical exhaustion. If left unaddressed, these digestive symptoms can contribute to a cycle where the physical discomfort worsens the emotional strain, further deepening the feelings of depression. It's important to recognize that when digestive problems occur alongside other signs of depression, like fatigue, changes in sleep, or emotional distress, it may not just be a coincidence. If you've been struggling with unexplained stomach problems, don't brush them off as just something you ate or a regular part of aging. Your digestive health is deeply connected to your mental health, and addressing one can often help improve the other. If you find yourself dealing with ongoing nausea, bloating, constipation, or other digestive concerns, consider speaking with your doctor or a mental health professional. Treating depression and its physical symptoms together is essential for achieving overall well-being and breaking the cycle of discomfort. 6. Frequent headaches or migraines. Frequent headaches or migraines can be a hidden and often misunderstood sign of depression, especially in individuals over 60. While many of us experience an occasional headache, when they become chronic or especially intense, it's important to take a step back and consider the emotional and mental factors that could be contributing to the pain. What some people may not realize is that the brain and the emotional state are closely intertwined, and depression can physically manifest as recurring headaches or even debilitating migraines. When we experience emotional stress, anxiety, or sadness, our body responds by releasing stress hormones like cortisol. Over time, these heightened stress levels can cause muscle tension in the neck, shoulders, and head, which may trigger frequent headaches. The constant strain on the body and mind doesn't allow for relaxation, and this tension can lead to persistent or worsening headaches that don't seem to go away, no matter how many painkillers you take. For some, depression can also trigger migraines, a much more severe form of headache. Migraines are typically accompanied by symptoms like intense throbbing pain, nausea, and sensitivity to light and sound. These types of headaches can be debilitating and can prevent you from carrying out your everyday activities, leading to further isolation and frustration. When you're already feeling emotionally drained, migraines can make you feel even more disconnected from life, trapping you in a cycle of pain and depression. In fact, the relationship between depression and migraines is so strong that many people with chronic migraines also experience depression. The constant pain and inability to find relief can amplify feelings of hopelessness, sadness, and anxiety. This can create a vicious cycle where the physical discomfort of headaches exacerbates the emotional strain, and the emotional distress makes the pain worse. If you're experiencing frequent headaches or migraines, especially if you've noticed an increase in their frequency or intensity recently, it's essential to consider whether depression might be playing a role. Headaches should never be dismissed as just a normal part of aging or the result of stress alone. Chronic headaches and migraines can be signs of something deeper, and recognizing this connection can be the first step toward finding relief. Don't let the pain control your life. If you're struggling with persistent headaches or migraines and suspect depression might be involved, reaching out to a healthcare provider is crucial. By addressing both the physical pain and the emotional causes, you can break the cycle and begin your journey toward healing. 7. Shaking hands or tremors. Shaking hands or tremors are often associated with conditions like Parkinson's disease or other neurological disorders, but many people don't realize that these physical symptoms can also be linked to depression, particularly in those over 60. While the tremors might appear to be purely physical, the emotional and psychological strain of depression can also manifest in the form of shaky hands. If you've noticed that your hands are trembling, even when you're at rest or not performing any particularly strenuous activity, it may be an important sign that something more is going on. The connection between depression and physical symptoms like tremors lies in the body's stress response. When you're feeling overwhelmed, anxious, or depressed, your body goes into a fight-or-flight mode. This releases stress hormones, such as adrenaline, that can cause muscle tension and lead to tremors or shaking. The hands, being more sensitive and prone to muscle movements, are often the first place where these tremors become noticeable. In some cases, the tremors caused by depression can be subtle, like a slight shaking when holding a cup of coffee or writing. In other instances, the tremors may become more pronounced, making everyday tasks more difficult. Even simple actions like holding a pen, tying your shoes, or reaching for an item on a shelf may feel challenging. This can be incredibly frustrating and may lead to a sense of helplessness, which only deepens the feelings of depression. For many older adults, shaking hands may be dismissed as an inevitable part of aging, or it might be mistaken for a sign of something more serious, like Parkinson's disease. However, depression-related tremors can occur independently of any underlying neurological conditions, and they are often overlooked as a sign of emotional distress. It's crucial to recognize that physical symptoms such as tremors can be just as valid as emotional ones when it comes to depression. If you're experiencing shaking hands or noticeable tremors, especially if they seem to worsen during times of stress or sadness, it's important to consider how your mental and emotional health may be contributing. Often these tremors are not a direct result of physical illness, but rather the body's physical response to the strain of depression. Don't ignore these signs. If you find that tremors are affecting your daily life, it's essential to talk to a healthcare provider. Addressing both the emotional and physical symptoms together will help you get a clearer picture of your overall health and lead you on the path to recovery. Understanding the connection between depression and physical symptoms can help you seek the right treatment and take back control of your health. 8. Social withdrawal and isolation. Social withdrawal and isolation are common symptoms of depression, particularly in older adults. As we age, it's natural for social circles to shrink a little, and there might be times when we prefer a bit of solitude. However, when this desire for solitude turns into consistent avoidance of social situations or a complete withdrawal from loved ones, it can be a serious sign that depression is taking hold. One of the hallmark signs of depression in older adults is the loss of interest in social activities or relationships that were once important. You might find yourself canceling plans, avoiding family gatherings, or even staying home from social events that you would normally look forward to. Even the simplest interactions, like chatting with friends or family members, may feel draining or overwhelming. The desire to isolate becomes so strong that it outweighs the need for connection with others. This isolation can happen for several reasons. For some, depression can cause feelings of hopelessness or a lack of self-worth, leading them to believe that others won't care or won't understand. For others, socializing may become too emotionally exhausting. The thought of putting on a happy face or pretending to enjoy themselves becomes too much to bear, so they withdraw instead. This withdrawal often leads to loneliness, which only worsens the depression, creating a vicious cycle. The truth is, loneliness and isolation can significantly exacerbate the symptoms of depression. When we're alone too much, we have more time to dwell on negative thoughts, which can deepen feelings of sadness or hopelessness. Furthermore, avoiding social interaction deprives us of the emotional support we need to cope with stress and sadness. Over time, this isolation can lead to greater feelings of worthlessness and increase the severity of depression. For older adults, social withdrawal can also be dangerous. Lack of social support can lead to neglecting personal health or missing warning signs of serious medical conditions. Social connections play a critical role in maintaining mental, emotional, and even physical health, especially as we age. When we distance ourselves from others, we lose not only the joy of companionship, but also the benefits of shared experiences and mutual support. If you find yourself withdrawing from family, friends, or social activities, it's important to recognize it as a potential sign of depression. Socializing might feel difficult or even exhausting, but making the effort to reach out can be a crucial step in breaking the cycle of isolation. Don't be afraid to open up to someone you trust about how you're feeling, whether it's a friend, family member, or healthcare professional. If you're struggling with loneliness or withdrawing from your social circle, seeking professional help can be a game changer. Therapy, counseling, or joining a support group can provide the space and guidance needed to reconnect with others and start rebuilding your mental and emotional health. 9. Memory problems and cognitive decline. Memory problems and cognitive decline are common concerns as we age, but when these issues arise suddenly or seem to worsen quickly, they could be signs of something more than just the natural aging process. In fact, depression in older adults can often cause significant cognitive issues that are easily mistaken for early-stage dementia or Alzheimer's disease. If you've been noticing frequent memory lapses, trouble concentrating, or difficulty retaining new information, it's crucial to understand that these could be symptoms of depression, not just the inevitable effects of aging. One of the most common cognitive symptoms of depression is brain fog, which can make it difficult to think clearly or stay focused. It might feel as though your thoughts are constantly scattered, and concentrating on even simple tasks becomes a challenge. You may find yourself forgetting appointments, misplacing items, or losing track of conversations. This type of cognitive impairment can be incredibly frustrating and worrying, especially when it's mistaken for a sign of something more serious like dementia. Depression-related cognitive decline is often referred to as pseudo-dementia, meaning that while it mimics the symptoms of dementia, it is actually caused by emotional distress. The mental exhaustion and persistent sadness that come with depression can interfere with your ability to process and recall information effectively. The brain becomes overwhelmed by negative emotions and thoughts, which can disrupt normal cognitive function. Another aspect of memory issues in depression is difficulty with decision-making. Simple decisions, like what to have for dinner or whether to go out for a walk, may feel paralyzing. This inability to make choices is often tied to feelings of hopelessness or a lack of energy, both of which are common in depression. The longer depression is left untreated, the more these cognitive issues can impact daily life, making tasks that once felt easy feel impossible. If you've noticed a decline in your memory or cognitive function, it's important not to jump to conclusions about Alzheimer's or other neurodegenerative diseases. While it's possible that age-related cognitive decline could be a factor, depression should always be considered as a potential cause, especially when memory issues seem to be directly linked to your emotional state. Addressing depression can often lead to improvements in cognitive function. With proper treatment, whether through therapy, medication, or lifestyle changes, many individuals notice that their memory and ability to concentrate improve once their depression is managed. Seeking help early is key in preventing further cognitive decline and ensuring that your mental and emotional health are properly cared for. If you're experiencing memory problems or cognitive issues, don't be afraid to talk to a healthcare professional. By addressing the root cause, whether it's depression or another factor, you can regain control over your cognitive health and improve your overall well-being. 10. Physical pain without clear cause. Physical pain without any clear cause is one of the most frustrating and confusing symptoms of depression, especially for older adults. Many people experience aches and pains in their bodies as they age, but when these pains seem to appear out of nowhere or worsen over time without any obvious physical injury or illness, it could be an indication that depression is at play. These pains are often referred to as psychosomatic pain, meaning they originate from emotional distress rather than a physical cause. Depression can cause a variety of unexplained physical symptoms, including back pain, joint pain, headaches, and even chest pain. The pain may seem vague or widespread, making it difficult to pinpoint exactly where it's coming from or what's causing it. What's even more challenging is that the pain doesn't always respond to traditional treatments like over-the-counter pain medications or physical therapy, leading many individuals to feel helpless and frustrated. The connection between depression and physical pain is rooted in how the brain processes both emotional and physical discomfort. When you're depressed, the brain is in a constant state of heightened stress, which can lead to muscle tension, inflammation, and a lowered threshold for pain. This means that emotional distress can amplify the body's sensitivity to pain, making normal aches and pains feel more intense and unmanageable. For many older adults, the presence of unexplained physical pain can be particularly distressing. It can interfere with daily activities and make it harder to enjoy life or stay active. The emotional toll of living with chronic pain can also deepen feelings of sadness or helplessness, leading to further isolation and depression. This creates a vicious cycle where the physical pain intensifies the emotional pain and vice versa. It's important to recognize that while pain can sometimes be linked to a physical condition, it's equally possible that depression is contributing to or exacerbating the discomfort. Depression doesn't just affect the mind, it can alter the way the body responds to stress and pain. If you're experiencing unexplained physical pain that isn't linked to an obvious injury or health condition, it's worth considering the role depression might be playing in your symptoms. Don't ignore your physical pain, especially if it's accompanied by feelings of sadness, hopelessness, or fatigue. While addressing the physical pain with medical treatments may provide temporary relief, it's important to look at the bigger picture. Managing the underlying depression can lead to significant improvements in your overall well-being, reducing both the emotional and physical pain you're experiencing. If you haven't already, consider reaching out to a healthcare provider who can help you connect the dots and find a treatment plan that addresses both your emotional and physical health. If any of these symptoms sound familiar, remember you're not alone. Depression can show up in ways we don't always expect, and it's important to take both your physical and emotional health seriously. Sometimes the hardest part is recognizing when something deeper is at play, but acknowledging that is the first step toward healing. So, if you've been feeling overwhelmed or noticing any of these signs creeping into your life, don't wait. Whether it's talking to a loved one or reaching out to a professional, taking action can make all the difference. Your health is worth prioritizing, and getting the support you need can help you regain control and find a brighter, healthier path forward. Resonated with you? Share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. It can be comforting to know we're all in this together. And don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss a video that could help you feel more supported in your journey. Take care of yourself today, because you matter.